Should I call you Chinsanity or just Chin?
Whatever you want. Chinsanity.
Chin of Chinsanity.
Chin of Chinsanity.
That's what I like. How did Chinsanity come about?
Yeah, are you a basketball fan?
Not at all.
Okay, that's why you asked that question.
Yeah.
It came actually from a basketball player named Jeremy Lin. Have you heard of Jeremy Lin?
Yeah.
Yeah, during that time, he was on a tear, and they called him Linsanity. And then in high school, my teacher, because my last name's Chin, just dubbed me Chinsanity, and it literally stuck with me to now as my digital identity, being Chinsanity. So yeah.
Nice. And so you do live streams, you do your own podcasts. What brought that about? How did you get into content creation and doing what you do in Web3?
So I used to do Web2 marketing, agency world, kind of the world you're familiar with. I just wasn't really like happy where I was.
It's not sexy.
Yeah, it's not sexy. Like I had quote unquote everything, actually I was thinking of writing a post about it soon, but yeah, so I always wanted to start my own thing, right? And I always wanted to do, where I was like, I got one shot at this trying something, right? That take a risk in my life that I've never really done. And so I quit my Web2 job, not to go to Web3, to create UGC content for brands. Because at that time, TikTok was still very new, TikTok and everything. So I was like, what if I like create videos of me with products as a creative and then pitch that to brands and stuff like that? Ideas, whatever, right? And then I found out after a few months of doing it, I'm not pretty enough for IG, right? I was like, scrolling, I'm like, oh yes, that's not me. This is before AI craze. I can't make myself
not as many filters back
then.
then.
Not as filters. I'm not like I can't make myself like this some Asian baddie. But yeah, so then I was doing things. I always had interest in Web3. I got into Web3 through NBA Top Shot, NFTs and stuff. But it was more of a hobby and stuff.
Back to basketball again.
Yeah, back to basketball. So basketball actually got me into Web3 and crypto. Because of Top Shot, which is crazy. So I was living in Austin at that time, Austin, Texas. Consensus, the crypto conference, was in Austin. And since I'm around town, I I know Web3 NFT stuff. So I was like, why not just, go over there and see what's up. And I met someone, he was a founder, and he was like, I'm trying to look to do Twitter ads for a project and stuff. And I was like, oh, dude, I used to run so many Twitter ads for Amazon, for all these big brands. Let me help you out. So, I did a free trial as my first client. But then I think that's right. In Web3, advertisement like that doesn't work, right? Paid media is different.
You need a product to advertise the product.
Yeah, right. Right, and UTMs and stuff we don't really have that, right? It's decentralized. So it didn't work, right? And then actually I worked with another project and it didn't work too. So I was like, okay, this is the end of 2023 now. And then I was like maybe I need to go back to Web2. This adventure is done, right? And then I Google Web3 marketing, or I put it on YouTube. And then this video by this dude named Leon Aboud comes about. We all know Leon Aboud. And he was like, these are two ways you could be full-time in Web3. One was at that time collab manager, and then the other one was space host. And I was like, this space hosting is very interesting. I've never done it at that time. I wasn't even active on Twitter yet. I was thinking I was slowly being active on Twitter. And then so anyways, 2024 happens. I go to ETH Denver. I was talking to someone. I went to some happy hour talking with someone that I didn't know was the founder of the project. And we chop it up. And he's like, oh, what do you do? Right? He asked, what do you do? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to host spaces for projects. And he's like, oh, actually, I want to do more spaces and stuff for my project. Yeah, I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, I'm the founder of this. It was like a meme coin. And then after ETH Denver, we, hop on a call, and then, yeah, I hosted my first spaces. It was my first space I ever hosted, and I got paid doing that. So I not even fake it to make it, but I did it.
You just made it out the gate.
Yeah, and then so I hosted spaces, and then joined spaces, and then joined Unfungible, host spaces for them for a bit and stuff like that, and then did podcast, and now here I am doing podcasts, live streams.
Your location now is it doxed?
I'm everywhere now. Asia, the West.
So what made you leave stateside and come to Asia more?
Yeah, I really feel. I mean, you're based
Japan. Yeah.
Okay, you can say that. Okay. It's not excitement there, right? And Asia in general, not just in Web3, it's just, I like food. In Japan too, right? You walk downstairs, you're in 7-Eleven, and you don't need to get mugged in a 7-Eleven, and there's nice food, ramen, and stuff like that. I enjoy that. Faster paced than in the States, majority of the time, unless you live in New York, or honestly, unless you live in New York. So I enjoy that, and then Web3, right? Crypto and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And what about the Web3? What excites you? What areas are you focused on or interested in lately?
I just want to make a bag.
Yeah? Anything that goes up? No. So nothing?
Nothing. I think it goes back to my Top Shot days. it's just like experience tech side of things. Like, a lot of your clients, right, do AI stuff, innovative stuff, right? And I really believe like the blockchain powers new tech, new experiences for consumers, right? So I'm more of the consumer side of things. I know crypto, there's a lot of DAXs, trading. I know this guy just before, right, talking about some really cool stuff. I'm more like kind of like Polymarket, for example, a consumable thing that people can just use every day that they don't even know that's powered by blockchain. And I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And so that's what excites me a lot about Web3 and crypto. The decentralization, stuff like that as well. But I would say, yeah, it's just like, I really like new tech and what it can do using the blockchain.
And you were saying something earlier about this week and CZ yesterday. How's the conference been?
The Binance Blockchain Week. Right? Yeah. So I filmed a video, a vlog that I'm like editing right now, and the premise of this vlog is interviewing CZ. Yeah, and I was trying to do different angles and stuff like that, saying maybe he's my uncle or something, maybe he's related to me, I don't know. But no, it was good. It was good. The conference was good. I feel like it was very international, like very international. I mean, usually Web3 is pretty international, but this was like, obviously, Binance, a lot of people from China, Chinese and stuff like that, but also all around the world of people that I haven't met before.
That flew in for the conference?
Yeah, that flew in, or based in Dubai.
Yeah, because Dubai is a very international city in itself, right?
Yeah, I've noticed. I mean, you probably noticed that as well. And yeah, the vibe was good. Although I mean, this might be controversial, but obviously Binance. Yeah, obviously, but you can just cut this, right? But when it comes to building consumable products, again, maybe I don't know. I don't see as much in Binance or BNB chain. Again, maybe I don't know as much because I know they have the Easy Labs and stuff like that, incubator and stuff versus other chains. But I mean, they make so much money with trading.
Yeah, Binance is an interesting one. I feel like people write them off. I feel like they probably have a lot more consumers and a lot more Binance-only users than people think, especially because like anyone's first experience into crypto is a central exchange, and one of the biggest ones is Binance. So a lot of people like don't even have a MetaMask, all their cryptos on Binance. That's pretty common for when the retail comes in and buys some ETH or buys some Bitcoin. And I feel like even if your first experience with a custodial wallet is MetaMask, a lot of people still are very integrated with Binance. And even when, like, I think in my head, two things. One, yesterday there were more games there than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, I know you do a lot of gaming stuff. What was the Pixel was there? Pixel, what other gaming projects?
So yeah, Pixels had a booth. YGG had their own booth.
Oh yeah, YGG. Yeah, that was random. I had no idea YGG was there. Yeah.
MapleStory was there. There was like the Fractal. There was like a Gundam-looking statue in the middle of Fractal game. And then there were one or two more booths that were BNB games that I hadn't heard of. And like I'm in gaming a lot on the Web3 side, and I hadn't heard of them. But they have a lot of users. And it's because they're only users on BNB chain, right? And I feel like people kind of often write off Binance as like this chain that no one uses, but they have a ton of users that only use BNB chain.
I mean, it's the biggest by a landslide, the trading volume in for crypto exchanges, right? Like, so is there stuff gaming on BNB chain?
There always has been. I don't know if it's been amazing, but they've had users, right? And some of them have had revenue, which is, I would say, a success, even if I don't like the game, right? And I imagine it's the same way with other consumer dApps. I feel like the people in the trenches in Web3 don't use them, but I feel like they have a lot of normies that probably use some consumer crypto dApps on BNB that don't exist on other chains.
Yeah. I mean, how was it for you?
Yeah, the conference, honestly, it felt a little bit empty for a conference that size. Not that it was empty, but it just wasn't crowded, And maybe that was people just mostly being in the panels to hear the speakers.
There was a lot. The main stage was always packed.
Yeah, that's what it seemed to be.
Which is crazy. Maybe people just want to hear people talk, I guess.
Yeah.
Versus before, yeah.
And I'm used to the opposite. I'm used to like people not wanting to hear the talks. So maybe that's all it was, but it did feel like it was easy to connect people too, which is a good thing. But at the same time, I'm like, is that a good thing for the sentiment of crypto if I don't feel like there's a ton of people in here? Like, it didn't feel like there were a ton of users flooding the room to find the new project or...
It was very B2B focused. I was live streaming there and I get the vibe, not like, hey, let's play around, let's have fun. And also this is a festival vibe. It was more like, what do you do? What's your teller? Can I scan your teller? Right? It's like, I don't know. This is how I felt.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I kind of like that for a conference when it's B2B focused, because we have a lot of infrastructure B2B partners and stuff like that. And just for myself, always looking for interesting people to bring on into the fold at Crescendo, new clients. But I could definitely see that vibe as well. It did feel quite a bit B2B, where a lot of conferences, especially when you think of Binance, I think of it being more B2C, but it didn't feel that way. So
Yeah. Although when yesterday when CZ, I think her name is pronounced He were there, dude, there was just swarms. People waited 1 hour to take a picture with
Yeah,
with
that
them.
I bet.
It's crazy. And then they kept going, like,
So did you get your photo or no?
when are you dropping this?
Yeah,
Podcast?
you'll probably get your podcast out first.
You'll see at the
Okay,
vlog.
no spoilers.
You'll see. No spoilers. Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. What's next on the agenda? What city? What conference? Where are
Yeah.
you going?
So going to Abu Dhabi. You're not going, right?
No,
okay.
I'm gonna go back home.
Okay, go back home. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's
Got clients to catch up on. Girlfriend's gonna be pissed if I'm gone another week.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be Abu Dhabi for Breakpoint. Did you go Breakpoint last year?
No, I didn't. Shash has been a couple times, my co-founder, but I haven't been. No.
Yeah, I think Breakpoint is one of the better conferences to go to. Yeah, it's business, but like it feels like it's like a festival. It's more fun. Even the talks are fun. Like last year, they had Luca and Frank D got debate each other for fun. That was pretty funny. Yeah. So going that and filming a few podcasts. Gonna be in Dubai for a little bit. So tomorrow I have a podcast, and then the next day. And so I kind of like this kind of conference where just not as much going on. So I can just because I feel like I got to a point where I don't really care about, I don't know about you, the loud parties, and I rather make those genuine connections, maybe a dinner or maybe just sit down and chat versus drinking table. I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the like nightclub events. I mean, I would, if you're doing the drinking events, sometimes it's nicer when they're a little earlier and like people go out afterwards, like grab 3 or 4 people, have one more beer, and you can actually chat. Like, that's more my kind of vibe. But yeah, I mean, some people think you get a ton of networking and business done by getting hammered with other people. And sometimes it turns out to be true. But for the most part, I don't find the clubbing scene to be high EV to actually attend. So
same, it works for some people. Like, I remember I was talking to a venture studio. I was like, they were like one of the the organizers of one of those club events. And I asked them, I was like, is it really that worth it? I think they did something at the Marquee, and the Marquee was like, I think one night 50K, 90K, one night, not even one night. It's like what, 6 hours? And they told me it was. They said, you get like a investor that's a big shot. You get him a VIP, big couple of girls, like it works.
And he'll just deploy capital
everywhere. Risky, right? Yeah,
funny.
Yeah, so. But again, it whatever suits people, right? And not everyone's doing this and that. And so, but yeah, I guess that's Web3 conferences for you, right?
Yeah, it's funny because one of the side events the other day, I was chatting with someone. He's like, "Oh wow, it's rare to get free drinks at an event." I was like, "You're not from Web3, are you?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I said that right up front." He's like, "Oh no, I'm interested in AI." But
I've met a lot of non-Web3 people at these side events. How about you?
Yeah, same. I think because a lot of them are promoting around a niche like AI or robotics, or the events I've mostly been going to. And I have seen a lot of people that are just startup or even funds. I met a couple fund managers, family offices that are looking to deploy capital and just in anything in robotics. It doesn't matter if it's Web3, they're looking for good projects. And they were coming to the events. And I think there's a good tech startup crowd here in Dubai. It seems like that will attend some of these events, even if it's Web3 or not. They don't really care.
Yeah, it seems like it's crypto, Web3, blockchains not as a taboo, maybe here in Dubai as in the West, where people are like, hey, it's something new, I need to get into it. Whereas in the West, it's a scam. Although it's changing too, slowly with the new administration. Like, I have a lot of friends that used to say NFTs are dead or it's a scam. Now it's like, yo, I gotta like at least know about Bitcoin, a little bit of crypto, because I feel like I'm behind. That's what they told me. Yeah.
That's that thing the president endorses, right?
The Bitcoin and the We're at Liberty. Didn't they just do like a partnership with Aster or something like that?
I don't know. The Aster booth was popular. That I did notice. That's a funny one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on the meme coin myself. I don't know what the latest updates are with Trump and all that stuff. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, he parted the CZ, right? And yeah, I don't. There's probably some inside things going on right there.
Oh, definitely. I heard some funny stories this week too about the Trump launch coin. Who knows how much of them are true, but like just insider trading and this guy knows that guy in the in the White House and made a ton of money. I'm like, very, very funny. But that's crypto in a nutshell right there.
I mean, didn't he have a crypto dinner at the White House? Justin Sun was there. Who else is there? Some crazy, interesting people.
Yeah, interesting people to say the least. But I mean, maybe that's, I don't know. Some people argue that meme coins are, the retail adoption we need. I've always kind of felt it more like you're just burning them all and they're going to hate crypto afterwards. But I can see how there's kind of two sides of the argument.
Yeah, I have some friends that say, I don't know about you, who say that, yeah, like I don't touch crypto after getting burned and stuff like that. So yeah.
I think if your first impression is a token that everyone tells you, oh, this is like amazing, it's going up, and then the next day it like drops 10 times and you lost all your money, I could see you like not, especially the way people talk about their bags, especially like things like Reddit are horrible. Like everyone pumps like, oh, this is the next whatever, this is the next Tesla, it's going to the moon. And none of them believe it, but they're just spewing it because they have bags, right? And people who don't know that take it seriously, right? And if that's your first experience that all your friends told you how amazing it was and then the next day it dumped, you're probably not going to be very trusting.
Yeah, you're probably not. You're probably So I guess that's how crypto is, right? Kind of. But I still think about like building real products, real things, using the blockchain, and then having tokens power it. Same with gaming, right? Again, going back to polymarket, prediction markets in general are getting a huge thing, and I think we're gonna see that more even next year. I hope gaming makes a comeback too. You know more about that, but I hope it does.
Yeah, I think it will. I just don't think it's going to be the way we expect it, if that makes sense.
Well, what do you think is going to happen with gaming and stuff like that?
I think we're going to have a successful game that comes out and they're just going to be like, oh, by the way, there's blockchain tech in here. Or someone's going to see that there's blockchain tech in there just because it made sense to do so from a cost standpoint or from an infrastructure standpoint. But it's not going to be a game that sold us NFTs. It's not going to be a game that dropped a token and had a bunch of hype on the Web3 side because they didn't need to, right? A lot of these fundraising activities, there's been misalignments with like what's the best thing to do for the investment or the fundraising versus what's actually best for the game. And I think if you can have a studio that doesn't need to worry about those, they can have a very successful game using some blockchain tech. Because I do think there are use cases for the tech in gaming. And so I think we will see one, but it's probably just not going to be one that pumps all our bags because they didn't, sell us all NFTs. And that happens, maybe then some of the ones that are much more heavily crypto involved on the retail side, maybe they'll pump too. I don't know. But I don't know if we're going to see the era of gaming tokens take off again. I mean, I hope they do, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Axie Infinity, right? Going to launch their MMO probably next year. Off the Grid's still around. Yeah, we'll see what's up.
Yeah. Did you watch the YGG, the Game 3 awards?
I saw some, posts and stuff like that. Was anything cool happen or?
It was cool. Like the vibes was great. Like I was there in person at YGG Manila. The vibes were awesome. So I did like that. The one thing and Off the Grid has, some very positive aspects to it for sure. But I felt like them winning 4 or 5 rewards was more showing that there's nothing else in the space rather than showing how amazing they are. You know what I mean?
It's interesting to have an award show for not industry dying, but it's not like the real game awards like you get in the Web2 sense.
The production value was great. The show is really well done. They've leveled it up year over year. We just don't have enough games to catch up with that level of show, in my opinion.
I don't know about you, but the Web3 award shows are interesting because there's a lot, but like there's not as many. It's not Web2, but yet there's still a lot of award shows. Like there's always a meme, right? The crypto creator of the year no one's ever heard of. So it's like a one big cabal or something.
Yeah, there's always a lot of that stuff. And from a marketing standpoint, then all the creators you nominate promote you, and it works. That's how a lot of those got started.
I'm not like for or against it. It's just a funny observation to see that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if we get mass adoption, then we have the foundations for some of these awards and stuff like that to do really well. I just think there needs to be more competition amongst, like when we're talking about Web3 gaming, there aren't any other shooters that you can play really right now on AAA kind of shooters like Shrapnel. I don't know what's going on with Shrapnel.
I've heard some interesting things.
I saw Sam.
Someone posted this. Yeah, Sam posted
Sam's
something.
post about them talking about getting ready for the Olympics.
Sam's like that's light years or something like that, right? Like
they were like they want to be in the esports Olympics, and people were joking like you got a few steps ahead of you first because no Web3 game is at the level yet to be esports Olympic type of.
Yeah, it's the users, right? It's not enough users, or even the gameplay itself too, right?
I think it's both. I think we're just early. Games take a long time to produce. I think there's a couple games I know of that are in stealth, funny enough, that raised in like 2019, 2020 even, that still aren't super public because the game's almost ready, but not yet. So I still think there's a couple hidden gems out there that might pop up and surprise people. And there's still a few games that I am excited for, like Fableborn Season 4 today and their token launching today. We'll see how this holds up when this is live, but it is something I'm excited for because it's a mobile game that I've been excited for a long time. So I think we have some hope in the space still for some more successful games, but we also have a lot of games that just aren't fully developed, right? And they're not fully developed and they can't get the funds to finish the game, right? Even if it's a very solid first phase or a very solid open alpha, because the tokens aren't doing well, Web3 VCs.
That's what happened to a lot of those games.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
That died early this year.
Exactly. Some of them weren't bad games. They just won't get to finish because they can't get funding.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, it's like you said, we're still early, right? And it'll be interesting to see. Because there's a use case, I feel like, when owning your assets, right? And then you can sell it and stuff like that. Like, because like, I remember Call of Duty Warzone, they closed down one of the servers, right? A couple of years ago. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like, the skins that you buy, they're gone because the server's gone, right? Or something like that.
Well, yeah, if you can't play the game anymore,
your skins are done.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All that money.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think there's some hope, but I'm not personally expecting a huge bull gaming run in the near term, personally. But
so you think it's more of a past 2026?
We'll see. Yeah, that's what I think. Or it'll just be one of those. It's been a weird cycle in general, so it might not be a 4-year thing. I just don't think it's going to be in the next 12 months.
The last 2 people I talked to said the 4-year cycle is over.
Yeah, I think that's a popular opinion right now. I mean, but then again, every cycle someone says this cycle's different. So I do feel this cycle is different in terms of the amount of institution coming in, what's happening on the financial side, but who knows? You know, no one, that's the thing about crypto, is anything can happen. No one really knows for sure.
Yeah, no one can predict the future, right? Like, people thought this year was kind of bull, kind of bear-ish, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's still ish right now.
Yeah, still ish. Like, people are mad that Bitcoin's at 80K. Last year, if Bitcoin's 80K, we all would be, bull market! It's like, yeah, it's funny, man.
Yeah, that's the sentiment, though. That's how it's always been. So, awesome. All right, well, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's keep working together.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Cheers.